favorite. Henry Clay himself was called the Great Compromiser, and in his day that was indeed a high compliment. Henry Clay was the architect of the Missouri Compromise of 1820 that split the Louisiana Purchase between a free North and a slave South. He was the author of the Compromise of 1833 that kept South Carolina in the Union when the South Carolinians were threatening to bolt the Union to secede over a tariff that they didn't like. As an aside, when I was writing the book, there was a lot of time that I was thinking about having to explain and motivate interest in the tariff. It was a topic that, until 2 years ago, had been quiescent in American politics since the 1930s. So I do have at least one thing to thank President Trump for making the tariff once again a live issue. And Henry Clay was also the architect, the author of the Compromise of 1850 which held the Union together again over threats by South Carolina and other southern states to bolt over the admission of California to the Union as a free state. And one of the things that I concluded, one of the lessons that I take away from this is that when Benjamin Franklin said, "A republic if you can keep it," the thing that kept the country together during those fraught 50 years was the spirit of compromise exemplified by Henry Clay, but also participated in everybody else. And this spirit of compromise died after Henry Clay and Webster and Calhoun died. They all died in the early 1850s. And with them died the spirit of compromise that had held the country together. Within 10 years, the nation was at civil war. We live at a time when compromise, to call somebody a great compromiser, is by no means a compliment. It's a high insult. Compromise seems to convey a lack of convictions. What's the matter? You don't really believe in what you say. Some of this has to do with the fact that we have a political system dominated by the presidency, and that's the executive branch rather than the legislative branch. And it's far from me to predict that there is another civil war in the offing. But I will say this, that when you live in a time when compromise is considered surrender, and when your political opponents are often treated as your political enemies, then a republic doesn't work very well. So I hope that something will happen to get us back on the track where we can say once again that a compromise can be a good thing. I'm not seeing a lot of it, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Thank you.